John, you ready to do some news?
Sunday, 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 Sunday.
News!
Greetings, programs. Welcome to another adventure of High Class Geek News.com. .com.
See, when you say that with the cigarette, I get flashbacks like Rod Serling. Evening programs.
Well, I'm doing it in honor of the great James Garner.
Ah, yes, that will be brought up, of course. Well, he actually beat me on the punch. I was trying to remember. Earlier today. I was like, wait, somebody died recently. I should have put that up on the page. Who was it? David, of course.
I have the need to go buy a Firebird and drive around solving mysteries now.
Yeah, you say that like you didn't feel that need before James Garner kicked it.
Yeah, but now it seems more pressing. I have no idea we're going to get a twill coat that fits that nicely, though.
Well, it's not the first time we watched Uncle Ben die.
But
anyway, that's not our main story. Our main story, as usual, pertains to our title, with the exception of that time where the title was that the main story is not the main story because it wasn't.
Yep.
Which is did you? Oh, of course you didn't catch the title. You never get to catch it before you come on. It's It Never Rains in Southern California. You know why we have that title?
I'm anxious to hear.
This weekend? Well, technically next weekend, I guess, depending on how you look at these things. Anyway, starting on the 25th to the 27th, San Diego Comic-Con.
And yet another year where we're not going.
Oh, of course not. Actually, to me, that's a good thing. It's Comic-Con is one of those things I prefer to admire it from a distance because it is just all business all the time for, I think, 72, possibly 84 hours straight. As opposed to, like, Heroes Con down here, which is like, it's big enough, it attracts some big names in the industry, but it's small enough that when the con hours are done, so are they. So you can just go across the street, hang out with them, and have a few drinks with them at the bar.
True, but that doesn't mean eventually we're not going to have to send a correspondent. When we have, money and time and money.
And hence why I'm wearing the hat. Please?
Please, Internet, give us money.
I need to have a talk with Indiegogo about a couple of things. But anyway.
Hey, if LeVar Burton can do it, so can we.
He did Kickstarter.
We can still do it either way. Come on, man.
Well, first of all, it's LeVar Burton. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. We're not going to say no. He had the coolest eyewear on television.
Yeah, we're going to have to get Will Wheaton on this. I know you're watching our program, so help us out here, Will. Geek to Geek. Come on, man. I won't tell anyone about those pictures in Marrakesh.
I'm just saying. But yeah, San Diego Comic. Let's be honest, San Diego Comic-Con. It's all about getting the big news out there. It's all about the next big thing. And this one is so friggin' big. They didn't even wait until the con itself to start revealing big stories and news under the con banner.
That's the sad thing about the industry nowadays. It's just, it's like every trailer we see, it's the best parts of the movie. I'm like, I remember when it used to be not. Glove and Boots did a wonderful little animated short, or puppeted short, about to tell the movie industry to just stop giving away all the good stuff. Hello, Momo. Yes, kind of our unofficial mascot is Momo.
The true high-class geek, you little kitty, you.
But yeah, it's just, it used to be, big reveal, and now we don't have those big reveals anymore. I mean, to the point now, I'm just like, what's the point of going?
You remember this? You remember the trailer for, I think it was called P1, where it was literally the entire movie condensed into a 90-second trailer?
Yes, I do remember that.
It was like simultaneously the best and worst trailer ever because it did the opposite of what a trailer really should do in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it was such a shit movie, it saved us a lot of money.
See, this is why I like The Fifth Element. As much as I cannot watch the film ever again, they did a really good job in the trailer of just putting enough to get you interested, but really leaving everything important out.
Yeah, Mia Jovovich wearing a bunch of Band-Aids and calling it a suit.
I mean, I still remember the trailer because it looked like a sci-fi epic. It looked like there were going to be epic star battles, and then there wasn't. And it was still good. It just there wasn't.
Star Wars 2.0.
And then, of course, there were movies like Coyote Ugly that just lied to us.
Well, don't forget the infamous Highlander Endgame trailer.
We don't speak of that, Evan. We don't speak of that.
I can speak of it now because of another Highlander movie that I brag about not seeing called The Source, but I know of it and the things in it and the things they do. And it makes Highlander Endgame look like Highlander 1.
Those are some very strong convictions.
I am not fucking kidding.
That's what Hitler said.
Yeah, and he was neither fucking nor kidding. But
speaking of Hitler, I'm sorry I've been out of touch lately. I was sadly detained for about the last 2 weeks building giant gay Nazi regalia.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany.
I was brought on as a special designer / builder by the local opera house for just that bit. I have built some of the craziest stuff that I will never build again, ever.
Yeah, it says caused some trouble last week. That's why we were out last week. Sorry, folks. We still got some news items from them, though, so we'll get that to you. On top of all the stuff that came from this week. Because like I said, San Diego Comic-Con is like just flooded the fucking market with news. In fact, because I didn't write it down because I'm a fucking idiot, let me go ahead and bring this up now before we get into our usual movies and television and stuff. How do you feel about that Weird Al Yankovic 8 videos in 8 days? That's still going.
It has made me rekindle my love of Weird Al. I mean, really, it has.
Well, that's what happens every time he releases an album.
Well, I mean, the last album really wasn't great to me, but this one is going back to the roots, and it's going back to true Weird Al, to the point that he even spoofed on Southern culture on the skids, which I never thought Weird Al would do. I mean, lame claim to fame, literally done like to Camel Walk by Southern culture on the skids. I didn't even figure Weird Al know who Southern culture on the skids was. Shout out to Carolina, Weird Al. We appreciate it.
I'll look at it, it's like I think Tacky is still my favorite because God, they are having so much fun, and that one dude with the pink blazer and the money's button-down suit and the yellow pants, and it just reminds you how much energy Jack Black has. I feel like
Jack Black should still never twerk, twerk.
I feel like Foils though is the underappreciated one because that second verse makes it genius.
I'm sure you've seen the video for
Word
Puddles.
Crimes?
No, Puddles, who is
oh yes.
Yeah, the clown with the golden voice. I really want to hear him do the Weird Al version now.
Oh God. Maybe he'll do it because he did it for the Scott Bradley and the Postmodern Jukebox group. So you never know. And then he did it again on some Texas radio show where he freaked out a British co-host for her birthday.
Yeah.
YouTube. Anyway, moving on to our regular stuff because we got 2 weeks of news to get through.
Yeah.
It's probably actually best it's just you and me because that means we'll be spending less time on each individual one. Coming out this week, and for those who are wondering, it was out last week. Go to your local theater. Coming out this week, we got. Yeah, we have Hercules, a.k.a. what in my mind should be the Academy Award winner for Best Unintentionally Hilarious Trailer.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go see it.
So am I. Actually, the funny thing is this looks like, not that this is saying much, but this looks like the most true Greek myth movie to the Greek myth that they've made in a long time.
I will say one thing, though. If Kevin Sorbo isn't getting a bit part in it, I'm disappointed. You missed out on a great thing there, movie people. You didn't put Kevin Sorbo as a cameo.
I'm just happy that he's got the fucking club with the jawbone. They never have that in the fucking movies. And he's wearing the it's like somebody in Hollywood, at least if nothing else, the designers read some fucking Greek myths here.
And somebody did their research.
Speaking of pretty girls kicking ass, Lucy.
Also on my agenda.
Yeah, I've already decided I'm going to be recording a Cinema Now podcast for that. I'm going to be releasing those in a few months when I get time to edit them and all that. It'll be good practice for another super secret project we have in mind.
Which one? We got a couple of super secret projects going on.
The one that's not video.
Yes, sir, Mr. Crypt Keeper.
Hello, boys and ghouls. I can't do it. Anyway, and finally, Magic in the Moonlight, because it's not really a movie year until we have a Woody Allen flick out.
Are we even calling them Woody Allen flicks anymore? I mean, they're existential crises for Woody Allen anymore. I mean, that's really all they are.
Even the comedies in their own way, it's just weird.
Yep. Sadly.
I'm still not sure if I want to see from whatever that one was, where it was the big ensemble cast with Juno and Jesse Eisenberg and all of them, because it really did sound like, just from the trailer, like the young people's dialogue really did sound like young people dialogue by some guy in his 80s. Anyway, which is pretty much what it was. But coming out on home video, we got the Arnold Schwarzenegger flick Sabotage, the God Only Knows What This Is Single Moms Club, the surprisingly out quick Transcendence, the way too fucking sappy and propaganda-y Heaven is for Real. Ginger Snaps comes out on Blu-ray.
Oh, huzzah! Yay,
well
Ginger Snaps.
As well as a re-release of The Hobbit to remind us all what good Tolkien cartoons look like, and that The Hobbit doesn't need to be 3 movies. And The Return of the King, because apparently we need to torture our young ones and let them know what we originally had to deal with before we got the Peter Jackson masterpieces.
Yes, true. I think every child should be subjected to Rankin and Bass at some point in time in their lives. I certainly, when I start having children, intend to not only subject them to Rankin and Bass, but also Don Bluth, because Don Bluth did some amazing work. He did some not-so-good work, hence why we have the big-lipped alligator moments, but still.
Oh, big-lipped
Sorry,
alligator.
if you folks don't know what the big-lipped alligator moments are, you need to start watching Nostalgia Critic and start watching quickly.
If you don't know what
Got a lot of videos to get through.
You don't know what a big-lipped alligator moment is by this point. I'm wondering, how long have you been on the internet? Are you 4?
Hey, I still run into people every week that have never heard of the Nostalgia Critic.
That's kind of funny. Okay. All right, here's our top story. And I'm not going to lie, our main source here is Entertainment Weekly. I have a subscription, and I was just surprised how much I got out of it this week. You've seen the cover, I'm sure.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that went under the San Diego Comic-Con banner, but a lot of major fucking plot points for Avengers 2 have been released. So at this point now, folks, I'm just going to let you know, if you don't like spoilers, what the fuck are you doing on the internet?
I'm still mad about them changing the storyline of Ultron. I really am upset about that.
I'm not.
I mean, they'll do it well, but by the same token, I'm like, oh, man, come on.
It's Joss Whedon's fault, and I'll forgive him for many, many things, so.
But you still haven't forgiven him for Alien Resurrection?
That wasn't his fault.
I'm not going to lie, I'm actually probably one of the people in this world that enjoyed that film.
Yep.
mainly because of Ron Perlman and the guy in the wheelchair.
Ron Perlman is always fun, period.
I can get you off, maybe not the boat.
But no, I mean, the whole reason why they're doing Ultron, this was not Marvel's plan when they came up with Avengers. It was literally Joss Whedon said that he will only write and direct the Avengers movie, and that he would stick on for more than one if they would let him do Ultron immediately after, because that's his all-time favorite Avengers villain. And based on these plot points, it works.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've read the plot points. It looks like it fits, but at the same token, nerd rage!
Yeah, you're just upset that it's not Hank Pym. You know what? That just means that we'll actually have to deal with the Hank Pym that's not defined by the fact that he made this one little mistake or that he bitch slaps his wife every once in a while.
Nerd rage! Nerd rage!
Hey, to me, Hank Pym was always one of those underrated characters anyway that never got proper respect from most people.
Of course not. He's not boxing in his class. That's his problem. He's boxing bantamweight when he should be at least welterweight.
God, he's bigger than that in a lot of ways.
Well,
if you want a good example of Hank Pym done right, read the Dan Slott run of Mighty Avengers. That is an excellent example of everything that Hank Pym should always have been. but wasn't, because he's kind of like Cyclops with the X-Men. People accept the fact that they kind of have to deal with him, but most people who write don't get him.
Now, what do you feel about the rumor that Marvel is actually switching up Hank Pym to be drawn as Chris Brown? Sorry, man, that joke writes itself.
Do I get to see Chris Evans beat him up? No, Chris, you understand. We don't think you need a stunt double. Not for this one.
If you won't do it, Downey Jr. will.
As an Avengers team up, it's 2 hours of them going after Chris Brown with everything they got. I'll watch that for Avengers 3. Well, let's get the
I have an army. We have a Hulk. I've got a jar of dirt.
Let's get one thing out of the way, because we're both artists, so we have to talk about this. That cover to Entertainment Weekly that instantly, like before the issue was out, went all over the internet. We finally got a look at Ultron. How do you feel?
Actually, I think they did it really well. I'm more anxious to see how Kevin Spacey's voice, or not Kevin Spacey, James Spader's voice is going to work with that, because I've been watching Blacklist. I love James Spader as a villain. He needs to play more villains. I swear to God, if Mads Mikkelsen wasn't doing such a good job of Hannibal, I'd say we need to recast, redo, and have James Spader as Hannibal, because that would be awesome.
What would be awesome? Mads Mikkelsen as Kang the Conqueror.
No, I think he deserves somebody better than Kang.
Well, I want him in an Avengers movie. If you're going to use Mads Mikkelsen, he should fight the Avengers.
Okay, if he's going to fight the Avengers, let's make him Doom.
Actually, it'd be... Oh, no, you can't have him be Doom, though, for licensing reasons. Let's stay realism. Though he'd be awesome as Taskmaster.
Still, I think we need a bigger name for him.
Too bad what's his name already took Red Skull, because he'd be a good Red Skull too. He's even got a good face for
it. He would, but I still love Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's why I've said too bad that he already took it. But yeah, I'm waiting for Hugo to come back. Oh no, Mads Mikkelsen as an Avengers film. I'm trying to think about this.
That's a tough one.
Well, also one of the things is with Kang the Conqueror is you can use multiple actors because there's multiple Kangs.
What about Baron Zemo?
Ooh, God! Oh, they already have a Baron Zemo.
Oh, but that would be so good with the pink and the ruffles.
Yeah.
Because Mads Mikkelsen would just make that hot.
Or Count Nefaria. Oh, God, he would own Count Nefaria.
Actually, no, I know who he needs to be, but it's not an Avengers villain. Sinister.
Oh, God, yeah. Hey, they're doing Apocalypse.
Sadly, we don't have Michael Clark Duncan to do that for us anymore. Maybe we can get Ving Rhames.
Well, we can at least get Kevin Michael Richardson to do the voice.
Screw it. We'll get Sam Jackson to do it.
No. We'll get Vin Diesel again. I am Apocalypse. I am Apocalypse. Anyway.
You're right. We should get Sam Jackson for Thanos.
Yeah, but they already got a Thanos.
I'm tired of these motherfucking Avengers on my motherfucking planet.
He's already playing the role he needs to be playing. Exactly who he should be playing in the Marvel universe.
Of course, because they wrote the role for him. They literally changed the entire Marvel universe so they could have Sam Jackson.
Kinda, sorta. Not exactly. That change was made before they came along.
I want to see the outtakes from Avengers 2 where Sam Jackson just goes on a motherfucker rant. Because it's coming. I swear to God.
You already saw it. They just digitally changed some things so they can use it for RoboCop.
I have a point. Moving on.
No, well, actually, we're not done with that story. It was like, let's get these plot points out of the way real quick. Basically put, the way Ultron is being done is it's Tony Stark who's making him, and the idea is that at the end of all their respective sequels have already come out, so we know this is pretty much true, the Avengers need a fucking rest.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see, there's Tony took out an entire terrorist cell. Thor's trying to get with his girlfriend after he left his home for her of the last few millennia. Captain America took down the biggest conspiracy in the history of ever, as well as the biggest terrorist group ever, and the biggest espionage organization ever, as well as finding out his best friend is alive and well, an assassin, and that apparently Black Widow does not look as good in bikinis as she used to.
Okay, you know what? I've figured out the solution, and I'm sad Marvel didn't think of it. This would be a perfect opportunity to introduce West Coast Avengers. Or Great Lakes Avengers.
That'd be great if that actually turns out to be one of the Phase 3 movies they haven't revealed yet. But anyway. But, so basically put, all the Avengers like, we need a rest. So Tony kind of quit being Iron Man at the end of Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
So he took what was left of the Iron Man suits, basically made them fully automated, and created Ultron as a sort of like leader of this Iron Legion. But Ultron, being Ultron, is like, best way to protect humanity is to get rid of him and replace him with us.
See, that's his problem. He should just put Jarvis in charge.
Well, actually,
They'd be kicking ass, but terribly polite.
We do know that they're going to have Paul Bettany playing the Vision. And the Vision will still be a creation of the Ultron, just like he is in the comics.
Yep.
And since Paul Bettany, since literally Iron Man 1 has been the voice of the Jarvis program, it looks like that's what's going to happen to the Jarvis program. It's going to be made free into its own body, and I cannot wait to see the Vision. I always loved the Vision.
I'm sorry, there's going to be a part of me that really hopes we start with 70s Vision, the green and yellow and red one with the obnoxious cape.
You call it 70s, I call it the one he always has. They always wind up back in that suit.
No, because there was that period in the late 80s, early 90s where we went to the white suit.
The white suit looked cool, but I'm glad it was temporary. It's not what I think of when I imagine the Vision. Even though it was the first time I saw the Vision, that was the outfit he had.
In fact, I think it'd be hilarious if Jarvis chose those colors specifically because they go well together and Tony Stark has no taste.
Now just imagine there's got to be an outtake of James Spader in the having only seen the comic image, just like in the recording booth, going, "Now, I have given you life, Vision, and you are fabulous."
You have such good taste, Vision. So I called you Vision because you have it.
Now I just want to see those two just like... Anyway. But here's a twist, and they haven't explained exactly how this works just yet. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are on Ultron's side. So that will be interesting. And of course, and also it just makes sense. We get the Scarlet Witch in the same movie. We get the Vision because we know...
Vision and the Scarlet Witch.
You know, to me, it just makes Scarlet Witch possibly the smartest woman in all of comics. Why choose between a boyfriend or a vibrator when you can have both?
Mm-hmm. Batteries included.
Hey, he's got a half-life, man. But speaking of Marvel movies, Marvel recently revealed that basically they have slotted time for 5 movies over the course of like the next 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
I think it's 2. So we are set for Marvel. They basically know what they're doing. I think it's pretty clear Marvel already has had a plan for a while, and they're just giving us little bits and pieces.
I'm interested to see how this all plays out.
I like to think that what we're not seeing is the very John le Carre, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy type machinations as they have to kill people who know too much.
Actually, I'm more interested to see that after this all is said and done, you know as well as I do, the Carolina Theater up in Durham is going to do a marathon of every Marvel movie that's come out in the last 10 years because it'll be one big storyline.
Oh, God, yes.
Hopefully I'm there to see it.
Yeah. But speaking of Marvel movies, one thing that's not doing so good is the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, which we've already apparently Robert Orci has already moved on to other things, and he was like a big part of the Amazing Spider-Man franchise and all of that. And I like Spider-Man 1, I like Spider-Man 2. I'm not gonna lie, I was never really too big a fan of their plans.
Yep. They're pulling a Burton. They're doing Burton again, and it's just you can only have so many villains at once.
Not that one again. We've already had that argument so many times.
And it's going to continue
come up on top every time.
Oh, bullshit.
Bullshit. Remember what? Last time I went over the list of movies that have come out in like the last 10 years that had multiple villains in them. That were all awesome, even by your standards. Because here's the thing. The problem isn't multiple villains. The problem is multiple villains handled badly, because villains, at the end of the day, are just characters like anybody else. You got to treat them like characters.
And that's the problem. You have to have some kind of character development. And the mistake the Spider-Man franchise has made is they really haven't allowed for that character development. You can have more than one, and that's fine. but you really have to develop them properly to get them all at the same time.
I don't know. I felt they were well developed in Amazing Spider-Man 2. They could have worked a bit on Electro, I'm not going to lie, but at no point did I go, oh god, this is just ridiculous, because I know guys like that. That wasn't very ridiculous or far-fetched. And they definitely did some with Harry Osborn there. And
you're not going to convince me, man. That's just an argument we'll have to have later.
You mean continuously? We're gonna be on our graves, like we're gonna have like our friggin' hospital beds right next to each other. More villains suck. No, it can still work. More villains. How can you do a Flash movie without multiple villains? Okay, you got me there, but everything else, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be standing over your gravestone, yell at you. See, I was right. I outlived you.
And then my fucking middle finger will come out of the grave like Carrie.
Yeah, and then I'll take my walker and smash it, smash it, smash it, smash it!
But speaking of geek films, wow, we spent so much time on movies. Let's see, we got a bit of Star Wars news from last week. Kevin Smith has visited the set and said, oh, God. And once he was done, coming all over the place and they cleaned it up, he let us know it's awesome. He did not write the fake script. Which I don't even know why people thought he wrote that fake script. Does nobody keep track of Kevin Smith's career? He is not going to go out of his way to write a fake script that he's basically going to be getting nothing for, because he barely goes out of his way for the scripts he gets paid for.
I'm still dying to see Tusk. That is on my agenda. I'm dying to see a superhero movie written, created by Kevin Smith, because that will be fucking epic. And it's a comedy, so I mean, come on, Walrus superhero. It's gotta be epic.
You just unsold me.
Why?
Because it's
Walrus,
a comedy.
You know Kevin Smith. It'll be epic.
Yeah, I know Kevin Smith, which is why I know his best work is his superhero comics, which have funny moments but aren't comedies. That's the problem with Kevin Smith. He's not showing his dramatic side. With the exception, Chasing Amy was the closest thing we saw to it, and that's still my favorite movie of his.
I guarantee you, it's Kevin Smith. It's going to be done well.
I'm not saying it's not going to be done well. Well, it'll be written well. I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm just saying I'd much rather see a serious superhero movie by Kevin Smith that just has funny parts in it.
I'm sure we'll get what we expect from Kevin Smith.
Because considering Guardian Devil from the Daredevil, which is easily one of the best Daredevil stories ever, and the friggin' return of Oliver Queen, he's the reason we know who Oliver Queen is today. I honestly don't think there would be an Arrow today if it wasn't for his run on Green Arrow.
More than likely. More than likely.
But anyway, finishing out the Star Wars thing, also, if you want to know more about Star Wars, go to Chicago. Check out the museum. They've been approved. They have been approved for the Star Wars Museum, and we are happy for them. Moving on to TV. Coming out on home video, Seasons 5 of Xena Warrior Princess and Hercules Legendary Journeys for us 90s kids.
Or we could just watch the entire thing on Netflix, but most of us don't have that kind of time.
Shogun is coming on Blu-ray, a.k.a. Yeah.
Yes!
Consider it, think of it as Japanese Fiction 101. After that, move on to some Akira Kurosawa films, some Lone Wolf and Cub. You'll be good.
Yeah.
It's speaking of it from a Japanese perspective, it has its flaws, but it is still an excellent story, and I highly recommend it.
Indeed, indeed.
And season 1 of Wahlburgers. I'm just announcing this because I like to say Wahlburgers.
I have never even heard of this show, so...
I'm guessing it's about Mark Wahlberg's restaurant. I think I remember hearing vaguely about it before.
Okay, I officially don't care. Moving on.
Yeah. Going on to our television stories here. Oi! Let's get some of these adaptations and things out of the way before we go into some serious casting news. Terry Brooks' series Shannara and Bernard Cornwell's Saxon stories are both being adapted into shows. The Terry Brooks one being Shannara, of course, and the Saxon stories will be in a show called The Last Kingdom. So those are both getting adapted. For those who are fans of those, rejoice. Also, if you feel like South Park's been around too long and you don't have the money to buy all the DVDs, now you don't have to. Hulu's got all the old episodes, all the old seasons now.
Yep. Or you can go to southpark.net, and it has all the old shit too.
Yep. And finally, the casting news is the big thing. To go to the less geeky but still important casting news, if you go up online, you can now see all the regulars they have been cast for Better Call Saul. Well, we don't care about that because we got much bigger news. You ready? Okay, first off. Okay, John, how much do you wish you were Brandon Routh?
How much do I wish I was Brandon Routh?
Because how many people can honestly say in their careers they've played Superman, they've played a European comic book character with Bill and Dog, even though it wasn't a good movie, and now on Arrow he will be something Palmer. Can't remember the guy's first name, but he's the Atom. The Atom is the guy that makes miniaturized heroes awesome.
That he is. And you're right. He is going to have a very sordid comic book career. I'm interested to see who he's going to play next.
You know, it's a good thing that almost all DC characters, the male ones, look the same, because basically Brandon Routh can just play all of them if he wants to.
Oh my god, he's going to pull an Eddie Murphy. We're going to get
we'll have him play all the Justice League characters. Even one.
We're going to get a JLA with nothing but Brandon Routh. It'll be epic.
Superman will do the spin, and all of a sudden it'll be Wonder Woman with Brandon Routh's face. Also, speaking of, it says, continuing on with our coverage of Daredevil, this makes me very happy. You know who I always thought was the sexiest woman on True Blood? Probably the only reason I'll probably go back and watch those seasons after season 2, because she'll have sex scenes.
Pam?
I can't tell. I don't know their names. I just know the actors. Deborah Ann Wall, the redhead. You know, the vampire who was bit when she was a virgin and now has to deal with the fact that her healing factor keeps healing her hymen every time she has sex.
Yeah.
That girl. She is in Daredevil playing Karen Page. And even though you're not a Daredevil fan, you should still be enough in the comics you know who Karen Page is.
It'll be interesting, and I will still watch it. But you will not get me to like it.
Yeah, he says he's still going to watch it. And also, continuing on with the Arrow thing, we have confirmed Wentworth Miller is playing one of the most awesome villains in the DCU that is almost never in the mainstream, Captain Cold.
I have no words.
I'm just happy there's a Captain Cold.
I mean, who are we bringing back next? The Boomerang Man?
It's Captain Boomerang, and they better. I want the whole Rogues. If you have Flash without the Rogues...
Who's going to play Captain Boomerang? We're going to get Ray Park to do it, because that man's a whore and will do anything.
No, you get the dude who played, what's-her-name's brother in True Blood. The man whore in True Blood? Because that guy's actually Australian in real life.
Yeah, no, I want Ray Park. Sorry, you're not going to convince me otherwise. Fuck off!
Ray Park can do it. Oh, God, I wonder... No, the real question is who you get to play Mirror Master, because I want him Scottish, just like he is in the comics. Oh, no, they can't get him. He's probably busy with that other stupid ABC show, but God, if they could get Robert Carlyle.
Okay, I can see that one. I don't like the villain. I think it's a stupid villain, but I could see that one. That would work.
He's one of those villains, when he's done right, he's done right. He's like Aquaman. You need someone who knows how to use him. Either way, we got Captain Cold, and that makes me happy. There's a part of me that hopes they relive my favorite Captain Cold moment in the comics, which is when he found the guy who caused his sister's death, and so he froze him just right. Only his skin is frozen, but he's still perfectly fine on the inside, so he's completely conscious, and then threw him out a window.
Okay, yeah, moving on.
Moving on. The world of video games coming out this week, or at least the games that matter as far as I'm concerned. Oddworld, new and tasty for the PS4, and for PC gamers, Unrest.
Huzzah, Oddworld. We needed another Oddworld. I've been waiting for that for a while. Now I just got to get a PS4.
Yeah, and forgive me, folks. I have to go back and forth because I'm also doing last week's too, and I'm trying to like which one's better. Well, this is basically the big one here. Manuel Noriega is suing Activision for the Call of Duty game.
Yeah, I saw that one. I couldn't honestly, I'm not gonna lie. The first thing I saw with Manuel Noriega, I'm like, he's still alive?
That's what I told Jacob, my roommate, that he said the exact same thing.
I say the same thing about Muammar Gaddafi whenever he pops up again. I'm like, oh my God, he's still alive too.
Between this and the thing with South Korea, with Seth Rogen and South Korea and James Franco and all that, I'm under the impression World War III is going to be fought in the courtrooms.
Now, World War III's coming, and it's our turn to be Germany.
It's like I'm just seeing a whole bunch of an entire television series that's essentially Law and Order World War III.
Honestly, I can see it now. America's going to be split down the middle. Half of it will be run by Canada, the other half by Mexico, and it'll be East and West America.
Canada has the better health care, but Mexico is willing to do more in the bedroom.
All hair, I'll soon be Canadian overlords. I'll have a 6-pack of that in the fridge.
Can we be taken? This will probably get me looked at by some kind of weird brand new HOAC committee, but can we be taken over by Cuba here in North Carolina?
Nah, they gotta swim too far.
Anyway, and just picking and choosing between these two. The other big thing, Alien Isolation. Guess what, John? The original cast are doing their voices.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to that game. I've seen some of the previews for it, and it looks freaking awesome.
Just like Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, Harry Dean Stanton, Yaphet Kotto, Ian Holm. And speaking of Yaphet Kotto, Jesus Christ, where the hell have you been, man? We never see enough of you.
Agreed.
It was okay in the 90s. You were on Homicide, Life on the Street, and you were like, you were the most awesome character on that show. But where are you now? We want you back.
Well, we're getting him back. We're getting him back. Just calm down, man. Calm down. Chill out. Pretty soon we're going to be saying the same thing about Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill, where did you go?
We know where Mark Hamill is. We've always known where he was. He was doing voice work, and now he's back on Star Wars.
Very true. Gene Wilder, when will you come back?
Yeah, there's a better question.
Rick Moranis, your wife is dead now. Your kids are grown up. Come back to us, Rick Moranis.
No, considering why he left, he's forgiven.
We need another Honey, I Shrunk movie.
No, we don't. We really don't.
Honey, I Shrunk our college-age children.
Honey, I Shrunk that franchise is like the Highlander franchise. There should have been only one. Did you know there are Highlander audio adventures by Big Finish?
No, and I don't need to.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Time to talk about dead people. One, James Garner.
James Garner.
Let's see, also going on there, Dave Logano. I might have pronounced that name wrong. This is... Fuck me on this one. Tommy Ramone. We lost one of the Ramones.
We lost all the Ramones now, man. We don't have a Ramone left. We live in a world with no Ramones.
We'll always have the Ramones cover of the Spider-Man theme song.
Fuck that, man. We will always have Blitzkrieg Bop. Okay. We will always have Sedated. We will always have Rock and Roll High School.
Speaking of musicians, Johnny Winter.
Johnny Winter. I swear to God, I think I'm one of the few people who knows who he is.
I'm just glad I was able to come across that. I kind of figured I was one of the ones a lot of people might have ignored. And if you could say there are winners in this category, these two are it. They both made it to 90. Alice Coachman, the very first black woman to win a Olympic gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
And God knows she outlived most of her naysayers.
if not all.
Yeah. And this one, saving the best for last. This is such a weird category. Nadine Gordimer.
You missed one.
Dude, no. We can't just gloss over Nadine Gordimer.
I know we can't gloss over, but you've missed one.
What did I miss?
Marlene Statrick.
How did I miss that one?
I don't know, but you missed her. Yep, she died this week.
Aye. And finally, yeah.
Some of the greatest legs ever in Hollywood will dance no more.
Ah, now I remember, yeah. God. And Nadine Gordimer, who, for those who don't know her, she was an author, South African, and one of the strongest opposers to apartheid before that was cool.
Yep. Been a rough week.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks.
True.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to some comic book news. Our suggestions this week: Afterlife with Archie #6, which is ironically looking to be the only place where you'll have a living Archie pretty soon. John, I am not kidding. This one's going to blow your mind. Star Trek: The City on the Edge of Forever #2. They did a comic adaptation of the Harlan Ellison version, the way he imagined it. Saga #21, which is quite possibly, in my opinion, the best comic on the market today. I love Saga. Velvet #6, which is easily the best spy comic on the market today. It's Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. I'll follow those two anywhere.
Yeah.
And Superman #33, because, once again, it's Jeff Johns and John Romita Jr. I'm at least going to suggest, I'm going to keep suggesting until at least the first story arc is done, and then after that will determine whether or not I will continue suggesting it from that point on. Because every book should have at least that first story arc to get through.
Supposedly.
Yeah, well, it's how you determine things with comics these days. Blame the graphic novel market. Before the graphic novel market, you could have figured out a couple of issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least now we only need one story instead of 2 or 3. But anyway. Big news on that one. It's unfortunate we don't have Chasen, because good God. Okay. Do you remember the 2008 election where for a while it was like we were looking at the Democrats and we're like, we're either going to have a woman run or a black guy? Because no matter what, we're going to win.
Yeah.
Look at your competition. And basically for a while there when they chose Barack Obama, it was like, hey, vice president's going to be a woman if he doesn't win. So there was no way it wasn't going to be history in the making there, except that's not every presidential election technically. Well, Marvel's doing something very similar 6 years later. We are getting a black Captain America and a female Thor. This is where we find out who the true sexists and racists really are. Especially with Captain America. Because
Captain America thing, I can accept that. That's no problem. It's the Thor thing that gets me because I've seen a meme recently that just makes me laugh every time I see it. Marvel's owned by Disney. Thor's owned by Marvel. Thor's now a woman. Thor's a Disney princess.
I hate, that's not a good meme. The better meme is the Tony Stark one that just says Disney made Thor. It's him with a drink drinking a drink saying Disney made Thor a Disney princess. No, Marvel made Thor Disney princess. I didn't have anything to do with that. Much better. The other one is too fucking long to be funny. But no, I want to get to that in a second, because there is a common misconception with that I want to address, because I'm the only fucking person who read the article. But first,
I understand where you're going with that one. Let's go with Black Captain America first.
Yeah. Which is, the reason I say here, this is where we know who the true racist is. It's not me speaking as a black man going, hey, we have Black Captain America, because we already had a Black Captain America. Any fucking truth, red, white, and black, for God's sakes. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that. It's literally just completely ignoring race. How many fucking characters, not just in the Marvel Universe, but in all of comics, have earned the right to carry that shield more than Sam Wilson, the Falcon? The only one that comes...
Give me a minute. I'm thinking. Give me a minute.
Yeah, I'm just saying the only one that immediately comes to mind already had the shield, and that was Bucky.
Brian Braddock.
He's Captain Britain.
Exactly, but he has still earned it.
I mean, to me, the true crime of this is that the Punisher wore Captain America's mask before Sam Wilson did, but even he didn't get the shield.
Well, you got to realize the Punisher. Marvel technically DC did it. Or was it Marvel? No, it was Marvel. It was Marvel. My brain's not working. But yeah, no, they already made the Punisher the Captain America. They just called him a different name. They called him the Comedian.
That was DC.
Still, it works.
Dude, you know good and well if the Punisher and the Comedian met, the Punisher would put him right between his fucking eyes.
Now, I like to think if the Punisher and the Comedian meant they'd just go to a bar and drink and tell stories.
No, they wouldn't. God, the shit Comedian did? Punisher has killed people for less.
You know who needs to go drinking? Punisher and Deadpool. Just because I think the Punisher would enjoy it because he can put as many bullets in Deadpool as he wants, and he's still going to keep coming back. He's going to be riddled with bullets, and he's just Deadpool's going to look at, I'm beginning to think you don't like me very much.
They're already on a team together. They're in the Thunderbolts. No, actually, that's kind of what I want. That's how I want Original Sin to end. I want it to be the Punisher and Doctor Strange sitting in a bar reflecting on what's happened.
Yeah.
Since they've been teaming up for the whole miniseries. That would be great if it came down to that. And I like the idea of them having an unlikely friendship from then on.
I just want Doctor Strange to look at him and go, you really have some anger issues. Perhaps you'd like to talk this out. Maybe a high colonics and meditation might help.
But as for the female Thor thing, okay, let's get the record straight.
They're not changing genders.
Thor is not going to Thailand to have some work done, folks. It's not how it works.
So that would be fucking hilarious, and I honestly would probably read Thor more if that happened.
Well, they can do that to Ultimate Thor. That would probably be fine. But now he really is the Ultimate Thor.
Yeah. You're going to be Thor when he swings that hammer around.
I wish I actually knew how the fucking song went from the old 60s cheap-ass cartoon. But anyway, when he throws... Anyway. But no, here's how it works, and it's not the first time it's happened either in mythology or comics.
No.
Thor for a while will no longer be worthy of the hammer, and it will be picked up by another. This another will be a woman, and this woman shall kicketh some ass. Because damn it, if you're a woman and you're worthy of the, I only know of one other woman who is worthy of the hammer of Thor, and that was Wonder Woman.
I'll agree with that, and I can only think of two other characters that have ever been able to lift Mjolnir.
I have to point out, that wasn't me saying in theory. It happened. There is a comic where she picks up the hammer and has the power of Thor.
Again, I'm trying to remember. Let's see what, because Captain America was able to lift it.
Oh, of course. He can.
Beta Ray Bill.
Yes.
But I can't remember who else was able to lift Mjolnir. Or is that the only two from Marvel?
List. That's a Marvel. I don't know. I mean, aside from that, most of the people who have actually held Mjolnir don't count because Thor can see it's okay for you to hold it for now. That was the reason Superman was able to use it, because he wasn't worthy once the reason he was holding it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how fucking awesome you have to be, folks. Superman is not worthy of the hammer of Thor. You have to be more awesome than Superman.
I just want to see Nick Fury pick it up once and go, lighter than I thought, and then drop it.
Actually, yesterday at work, I had a joke. I forgot what led to the joke, but I said, when I was 5 years old, I was eating a banana peel, and I wasn't paying attention. I just threw it on the ground because, you're a kid. You don't give a shit about that. And then this dude with really long red hair came along and slipped on it and fell down, and this weird-looking hammer fell out of his hands. It just fell right in mine. It was surprisingly light, so I just started hitting things with it, and there are these cool lightning and sparks every time I did it.
Moving on.
Moving on. Aside from that, DC has a YA line. Done. Now, John, Do you know what time it is?
Science!
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 We're here to blind you with science. First off, this is exciting. The Voyager 1, we have got pictures from space. We know it has gone interstellar.
Yep.
We have never gone this far before. We'll be conquering alien races in no time. Or
yeah.
For us, kind of depending on.
I go with the second one. Let's go with the second one on that one.
Let's hope we find Vulcans. Vulcans are nice.
No.
Sit back. Let us make sure we're at a good point first.
Yeah, no. You know as well as I do, we're not going to find Vulcans. We're going to get prawns.
Oh yeah, the seahorse people.
Exactly. Zoidberg's people are coming down for a visit.
Yeah. Also, Elon Musk has donated $1 million to the Tesla Museum.
God bless you, oatmeal. I love the fact that the reason he's donating this money has absolutely nothing to do with obligation. It was only because he was asked by the man who wrote the comic that started the whole interest in a Tesla museum.
Awesome.
Proof positive, people. Art changes lives. Especially good comics.
Hey, let's be honest. We wouldn't be doing this today if it wasn't for art.
Very true.
Especially good comics.
Very true. Hi, Jacob.
John says hi.
Hello.
Jacob says hello.
Moving on. More science. Science!
Science. All right. Well, an Amazonian tribe, which has pretty much been more than happy to be its own little off to the middle of nowhere self, has recently made contact with the outside world.
I'm curious to see how that was done.
Yeah, sadly, I didn't get a chance to actually read the articles. That's all I know about that. I don't think it was us going to them. It sounds like it was literally them coming to us, like them just saying, hey, it's time to move on.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, hopefully they did it in a cool way, like leaving a body at the end of the woods with a bunch of arrows and a note attached to it, but that's me and my, imperialist mindset.
John, dude, that is so 20th century. Get with the times, man. You put a head on a turtle with a grenade in it. That's how you set it in the 21st century.
No. If we're really going to do it right, we're just going to kill a bunch of people, mount their heads on spikes, and call them all Starks.
And then tweet it. Yeah, oh god, today on Facebook I had at least 2 people think that my feed got taken over by George R. Martin. But anyway...
Every time someone questions Martin, he kills another Stark.
Yeah, I always imagine George R. Martin going up to somebody whenever he's getting ready to write a book that he's not too happy with. And it's just like that one scene from the first season of The Wire. He just goes up and goes, so tell me, which character do you not want to see dead?
Really, I just think he sits there and reads his tweets with a plate of nachos, and every one is just one more page that's not going to get written. Here's Daenerys actually getting to Westeros. No. That'll never happen.
On with more science, someone has created a contact lens that actually monitors blood sugar.
Yep, I've seen that, and I've actually heard that Google Glass is actually working on making Google contact lenses now.
I don't want the contact lenses. I want the glasses because, damn it, those are the Transmetropolitan glasses. I want to get rich so I can get a pair of Google glasses that look exactly like the Transmetropolitan glasses.
And the sad part about it is I can see you custom ordering a pair of Spider Jerusalem glasses and wearing them around just for shits and giggles.
Dude, the only thing you're upset about with this, the only thing you find annoying about this is the fact that you didn't think of that first.
No, I don't. Because if I was going to do it, they'd be Geordie LaForge goddamn goggles.
Yeah, now I'm getting this image of you and me walking down the street with my Transmet glasses and your Geordie LaForge goggles. Moving on past that, our final science-y thing for the week. Non-human DNA was found in the Iceman we dug up like 10 or so years ago. Like 15.
Science!
So, yeah, there we go. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's not fucking aliens. Come on, we're going.
Your hair's not up and up to do aliens, and I hate to reference. It just proves that It just proves that Mrs. Garrison was right, that we are all of us are the result of a retarded fish frog having butt sex with 5 monkeys.
Or Brad Pitt with 12 monkeys. Anyway, going on to our miscellaneous stuff real quick. Our final
Miscellaneous!
Yes, our final bits. One, because I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way first so you can go ahead with your excitement. Yeah, because the last one, we're going to have too easy a time making jokes. Yeah, Homestar Runner is coming back.
Yes, Homestar Runner's coming back! The little internet nerd in me is so happy! I get more strong bad emails. I get more strong bad emails.
For a second there, you sound like the dude who announces the epic rap battles of history. It's like you stopped using Oh, God. Oh, please tell me you got the turtle.
Strongbad versus Homestar. Begin!
Did you catch the one where it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Renaissance Artist?
Yes, I caught the last episode of Season 3. Actually not impressed by that one. I was a little disappointed.
I was too happy with the fact that it existed to be upset with it.
I'll agree. This season has not been great for me. I've not been really pleased with Season 3 of Epic Rap Battles of History. But they've had some gems in there, but a lot of it's been kind of...
The premiere is probably their best one. The final Darth Vader versus Hitler, where Vader finally won the rap.
You know it's not done.
He won it so fucking bad, he made the previous 2 raps not count anymore.
You know it's not done. You know it's not done. You know that as well as I do. Season 4 will begin with Hitler versus Darth Vader again. But I swear to God, I have actually put in a suggestion for next season, and I really hope they do it.
What?
Julia Child versus Martha Stewart.
Oh God, that will be awesome.
I know.
I think you could be one of the guest rappers for that one.
Well, I do a rather lovely Julia Child, but I can't flow like that. I have to have some coaching.
Well, if they could get Meryl Streep to do it again. But anyway.
God, that would be epic. Meryl Streep on Epic Rap Battle.
No. Okay.
And she'd still win a goddamn Oscar for that. Fucking Meryl. Leave some Oscars for other people, Meryl.
Well, no, last time I checked, she just keeps getting nominated. She's only won a couple. But anyway, I could be wrong, though. Don't quote me on that. Moving on.
You're on the internet. It's quoted.
Fuck.
Exactly.
Oh, that's the other thing you do on the internet. But moving on, continuing a story we started a while ago, Tracy Morgan is doing well, and I think I'm going to love him for this. Now that he's out, and he's understandably upset about what has happened to him, not to mention his mentor, he is suing, as well he should. But he's not suing the driver. He's suing Walmart.
Which he should.
Yeah, which is finally someone is speaking up about the shitty-ass fucking conditions that truck drivers have to deal with to do their jobs. Because that's what he's basically saying. Truck drivers are human fucking beings. They should not be treated like machines like this. If you were actually handling this the way you would any other job, you know, actually bothering with decent human courtesy and making sure these people were well taken care of, and just keeping track of, like, doing things for their own fucking health instead of just treating them like machines that just drive 24 hours, this would not have happened.
Agreed.
So I will forever love you forever for that, Tracy Morgan.
And Tracy Morgan, if you ever watch this and you want to come on the show, we'll be more than happy to have you. Come on, Tracy Morgan. We love you. We think you're doing the right thing, and you might have some fun with us.
We might, if, like, you guys somehow both came on the same time asking for it. I'm kidding. I'm not going to choose you over Nathan Fillion. We're going to have both of you. And it will be epic and brilliant and wonderful. John and I won't even talk. We'll just look pretty. I'll just announce the stories, and John and I will just look pretty in our little boxes down here while you guys go at it.
Pretty much, and, you know, if we're lucky, we can get Bruce Campbell to come on and, you know, just kind of be there.
Look prettier than us. There are few people that can pull that off, but Bruce Campbell has the chin.
That he does. He certainly has both of us beat.
Yeah. Moving on to other stories, we have a new Harry Potter short story written by J.K. Rowling, who apparently decided that no matter how much she thinks she's out, we will pull her back in.
Yep, JK, you're kind of fucked. You gave us something good, now we keep wanting more. And more. And more.
Well,
and more. And more.
Let's be honest. She's made her money. She knows she doesn't have to. She could stop now. She can go on a Mel Gibson-style rant and still be well off for the rest of her life, as well as her children and children's children. So the fact that she actually went out of her way to do this is kind of cool. And then finally,
Very true.
Yeah, and then finally, even though probably people have figured it out, but no. When you go this far into the land of stupid, you have to answer to High Class Geek News. And boy, Internet, boy, did you go way into the land of stupid. It's like you surpassed the uncanny valley. You went so far past stupid that compared to you, The Room is Citizen Kane. That you have gone that stupid, Internet. And John, it's not going to take me much for me to know exactly what you're talking about. So let me just come right out and say this: Steven Spielberg did not kill a Triceratops.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to dignify that with a response. It's just too funny to watch people go, "He's a murderer."
Good. I keep trying to defend this generation, pointing out how studies show that actually this generation is the smartest generation of humanity so far. You guys are not making that easy. God damn it!
Which is why I worry about the youth of America.
Every 10-year-old knows dinosaurs are extinct. They've been gone for millions of years.
Every 10-year-old might know that, but most 20-somethings are certainly unsure.
What happened, 20-somethings? What happened, new generation? What the fuck did you do?
Reality TV, Twitter.
I know it's not alcohol. That's good for you.
Wikipedia. I can keep going.
You know, Wikipedia should make you smarter. It's actually done that for me. Good night. Of course, what people do with Wikipedia.
Very true, very true. What else we got?
No, that's actually the last story I got on there. I figure it was going to take a lot just to keep us from making 1,000,001 jokes about the stupidity of the internet on that one. Dinosaurs on a Spielberg. Anyway.
Yeah, that one doesn't. That's too easy. That's not even low-hanging fruit. That's fruit that's fallen off, rolled at my feet, and begun to rot.
But it must be stepped on. The internet must be punished.
I don't want to get stupid on my shoes.
Momo, would you like to eat the stupid?
I don't think you want to feed that to Momo, because then you'll have to take him to the vet.
Her.
Regardless.
My vet makes house calls.
Regardless, you don't want to put Momo through that.
No, that's true. See this? This is Momo, Internet. She is smarter than you.
Yes, we're placating to the internet. We have cats.
Fuck placating. I just want everyone to know this cat is smarter than it. You have gone that stupid. That's where we're leaving you. We're letting you know this cat is smarter than you.
Well, if there's nothing else, man, I say we call it.
We are calling it. This has been High Class Geek News for highclassgeek.com. Start looking out. We're going to have some projects going. I might have an article or two out there. I still need to finish the one about comics for women. Yeah. Don't worry, ladies. I'll get to you. And only in this context would I ever be able to say that and be not bullshitting. But yes, we'll get to that. We thank you, as always, for joining us. Once again, we give a shout-out to David, our researcher, who has just been nothing short of an absolute fucking trooper. Because dude is awesome. And it's another special shout-out to Weird Al Yankovic, because for the last 7 days,
you've made our lives.
You've made my week. I swear you're better than you ever were before. Thank you, Internet. We will be back.
And Weird Al Yankovic, if you want to come on this show, we'll have you.
As long as you're rapping. Yeah, he was a white guy rapping before it was cool for white guys to rap.
Very true, very true. Well, I guess we'll see everybody next week. Same geek time, same geek channel.
That's right. High Class Geek News, where we don't report the news, we just tell you what we think about it.